Don't count for us, thanks.
Hodgson waits for the new
50.
delivery. Quite as much distance on it. Hodgson, though, comes forwards and then spills it forwards, and Simmons feeds Cordero. Joe Simmons to Hogg. Slade. Ewers.
Look at that, they've gone from one touchline right the way across to the other. They're really going to stretch this defence, and they're bound to find some space back on this side.
Sam Simmons. Brought down by Stewart. Here's Ben Moon. Tackled by Lockwood.
Really good, thank you.
Vermeulen is down at the moment, as Devoto tries to seek out some space in that 15-metre channel. And O'Flaherty's onto it. He's got Slade alongside him. Henry Slade will get with the offload. Tries raining down on Sandy Park.
Brilliant stuff, isn't it? It's just end-to-end, side-to-side. Slade going to one touchline, getting Newcastle's defence to really narrow up and then stretching them the other way. All starting back here. Johnny Hill, first involvement, turns the line out over just when Newcastle thought they might be able to get some pressure, but then this is the Chiefs. A lovely little shape, ball out the back. Devoto, quick ball, and then they're away. Getting the ball quick and out of the breakdown, less than a second. O'Flaherty's onto it. Henry Slade in support. Lovely, lovely finish.
We've got a new captain for Newcastle.
Yeah, here we go. Devoto, been outstanding, hasn't he? Really, really strong. And then Flaherty just picking it up, ball in that right hand, sorry, in that left hand, and then the offload knows instinctively that Slade's on his shoulder.
Correct. Yeah, that's fine.
In total command, the Exeter Chiefs.
See if that's a problem.
Has been replaced now by Stu Townsend. Jacques Vermeulen's receiving a little bit of treatment.
Uh.
43 points to 3. Exeter lead, and that is the 5th time in the last 6 matches that Exeter have notched up 40 or more.
Yeah, listen, I mean, we've seen so many times. Remember watching them in a game against Worcester where they were down at half-time, and then suddenly you look at the scoreboard at the end of the game and it's just a huge chasm between the two sides, and Newcastle have just got to put their heads down here a little bit, because if the Chiefs push the pedal down, they could score a lot more points.
40 or more, I should say, at Sandy Park. Happy hunting ground at the moment. 2 new halfbacks for Newcastle, Louis Schroeder and Will Hayden-Wood. Hayden-Wood making his Premiership debut at the age of just 20. And there he is, flinging it infield to Hodgson. And across comes Ewers. Hardy bundled off the ball. Quick transfer from Hogg to O'Flaherty. And as the game opens up, expect to see a little more of Tom O'Flaherty. Townsend, Hogg, Stuart Hogg. 2 men in the backfield, shaking off one. Hodgson does well. He's been very solid defensively, but there are so many holes. And Joe Simpson darts through one of them.
It's nearly impossible to defend, isn't it? When you're going backwards time after time after time, you're just going to run out of numbers. And Newcastle are trying an attack to get something going. It's all forced. They're turning the ball over, and Chiefs are just able to run rampant with it. There's no defenders left at the rucks. Simmons is just able to pick up, go straight through the middle. And the longer this goes on, it's just going to get tougher and tougher.
Yeah, I mean, I think the fresh legs and the quality of those fresh legs is starting to really tell. Contribution, whether it's the set piece of Johnny Hill, whether it's Stuart Hogg coming into the line with that energy, that footwork, and
on the left,
Townsend as well. They've just got so many different people that can strike from anywhere.
Jacko looks fine. He chose to tackle that guy.
Yeah, that was my view.
So I don't think
we have to remind ourselves that that we are seeing the champions here. You know, they are the champions. They're recently champions of Europe. They're a quality side. And
they now have 50 to their name. With apologies to Joe Simmons, who I believe I may have just called Joe Simpson. Easily done. No doubting the try scorer.
Keep more honest with this kick, Jacko.
Just keeping the ball moving really fast and stressing the Falcons' defence at every available turn. This, the most points they've scored this season. Now, Exeter.
Just wait for us. Yeah.
Hayden Wood.
Out the 10, out the 10.
Picked out by Cordero. Stuart Hogg. Little hitch kick. Working that channel again. O'Flaherty in space. Held up well, but the support is good as well. Townsend. Yendall. Simmons. Picked up with ease off his toes by Slade.
Yep.
And Lonsdale feeds Ewers. Johnny Hill striding upfield, offloading to Townsend, who's lost it.
It's gone forward into another player.
Well, they've made a rare mistake. Crowd don't like it, but it's definitely a knock-on.
Let's have a word with Rob Baxter, Director of Rugby, of course, with the Exeter Chiefs. Rob, what is it you think you can gain from this contest from here on in?
Well, basically just how physically hard we can work, really. I mean, the key at this stage of the season isn't necessarily the scoreboard, other than you obviously want to collect your 4 points and your 5-point wins for where you are in the table. But outside of collecting the points you need, it's how the physical endeavour that you can put in, the physical levels you can hit, because obviously your best time to practice playing high-intensity rugby in these conditions is now. You know, there's no better time to practice it, and at this stage of the season you want to be able to turn over some big numbers. And our challenge really to the lads in the first half was, we don't want to worry about too much about the scoreboard, but we wanted the intensity in the game that we wanted to get into it. We did that very well. We were actually just that kind of a bit above average of where we wanted to be, and I think we managed to push a decent intensity in this half as well. And that's really the key, is to be able to move at speed and react at speed and get those meters and the intensity under our belts that we're going to need as the season progresses.
And we've been waxing lyrical, obviously, about the clinical nature of your performance so far today, Rob. If you were to be a bit picky, as you surely have to be, what are the bits that you're not quite so happy with?
Never quite so happy when I see forwards kicking on the edge, just to try and just show off some skills. And we've thrown a couple of offloads early in the game. When you're flinging the ball back 15-20 metres, you genuinely are, getting it wrong. You know what I mean? I think we did that a couple of times, but on the whole, we've held together really well. We've exited properly instead of getting too carried away and running everything. And I think that kind of thing just shows that we've got a nice level of composure around that intensity that's on the field as well.
Thanks very much for your time, Rob.
Right, thanks very much.
I think that says it all, doesn't it, really, when you're struggling to find things that you haven't done that well. Forwards kicking the ball, I thought. Set piece, they've been magnificent. Again, they've turned the ball over.
What we got, fellas? How many left?
I thought the kicks were all right.
Look at that. I mean, that says it all. Meters that Rob's talking about, and 10 clean breaks.
Johnny Hill has gathered in the line-out ball. Sam Simmons, I believe, is in the thick of that pile of bodies right now, and they are inching quietly forwards.
Newcastle on the floor there,
doing enough to thwart it.
Yeah, I mean, I know that doesn't always look like there's any positives when you've conceded 50 points, but they have fought really hard, this Falcons side. You know, they've count how many times that the Chiefs have been down on that 5-metre line, and they've stopped them a few times.
Topsy.
And just looking at a bit of Chiefs attack and what they're doing really well, spotting these holes in and around the ruck. Joe Simmons' eyes, he sees all the Falcons defenders looking left, running backwards, backs facing their posts. There's just easy spaces. It's not the first time we've seen it. We saw it earlier. We saw it with Henry Slade's try not long ago. When you're making breaks and going forward so much, all the defenders, their eyes are everywhere, their space is closest to the ruck as well, and it's very easy to literally pick and walk through those spaces. It's a consequence of all the hard work that's been done earlier in the game in terms of dominating the game line, those quick rucks as well. Defenses don't have a chance to get set, and tries can be as easy as that.
It's all feeding into that picture of ruthlessness, isn't it, that they're going to need, Lol, over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I mean, the opportunities against the Bristols, the Sales, the Quins, there won't be as many as there are today, but it's having that ability to take those opportunities, to scan up, as Joe Simmons does. It's so easy in the pace of a game just to put your head down and forget actually to look up where the space is, and they've got some really intelligent footballers. I think Slade, Devoto and Simmons have been outstanding today.
There's an almighty clearance from Joel Hodgson, admittedly with the breeze at his back, but he's dug his team out of a fairly sizable hole there.
It's a great kick, isn't it? Probably the first time they said, right, boot to ball, let's just go long and let's give our team to have a chance to have a bit of a breather.
He's played well, Hodgson. You know, ball in hand. You can see that he has got that experience and really played well.
Taking the tiller at fly half now. Hodgson, Hayden Wood slotting in at fullback.
Ball not won yet. Use it, 9. Take a step, 5.
Townsend's kick missed
by black player.
by Facundo Cordero. Moon got it away well. Simmons, Devoto, Hogg.
No, stand still. Good 21.
Chip and chase. And the touchline.
Again, just the quality of the passing, simple stuff, knowing when the defender's coming onto you,
18 black down,
drawing that defender.
Yeah.
Even Moon, who comes on as a prop, he's got that ability just to put the ball in behind.
So that's
that injection of pace when it's on the counter-attack, when they transition, so forwards that are closer to the ball, closer to the traffic, know to kind of just stand still and shift the ball, and then the outside backs, your wingers, your fullback, that acceleration, they're the ones that go, right, where's the space, let's go and find it, let's go and attack it. I mean, that ball could bounce anywhere, it could go into the Chiefs' hands, but they still get the ball. It's just more pressure again.
Thomas Francis receiving a little bit of treatment and a certain amount of activity at Kingsholm, needless to say, ahead of the Allianz Premier 15s final, live on BT Sport from 3:45. Saracens and Quins.
Water's off then, guys, thanks.
3:45 for the big one, following this one here at Sandy Park. Francis patched up. Falcons have also replaced Chidera Obona with Zach Kerr, making his Premiership debut on the wing. Inside ball, causing havoc. Simmons causing havoc. Townsend, Lonsdale.
Calling for numbers on this far side, Newcastle.
Offside, White.
Fired out.
Guy with the beard.
Wriggling forwards now from close range. Townsend to Ewers. Reaches out for it. Try scores. The 9th of the afternoon in the Devon sunshine. Dave Ewers.
Yeah, he's outstanding, isn't he? 18th try in 133 games. He is possibly the hardest guy to stop close to the line in the entire Gallagher Premiership. I mean, he didn't even have anyone latch on him there. He did it all by himself. I mean, he is a block of a man, isn't he? Look at that. The leg drive, the strength, and then the dexterity to be able to get that one-arm reach and put the ball over the line. I mean, he's done that all on his own.
Pure strength, isn't it? Just strength, bulk to kind of withstand the initial hit, to ride it, to go again. That secondary effort, like, it's a strong man. Very strong.
It must be like trying to stop a tractor, basically, because he's low slung as well, isn't he? He's got relatively low centre of gravity, but ridiculous power.
It's that complementary skill sets. You know, you've got Sam Simmons, who's done the footwork, the pace there, he's made the initial break, that's got in behind. And everyone talks about back rows, but it's about bringing different skills, and certainly Dave Ewers has been outstanding today.
And Joe Simmons takes his own personal tally to 17. Exeter lead by 57 points to 3. If you happen to be leafing through the record books, you would discover that the most number of points that they've managed to score, Exeter, was back in 2015 against London Welsh, who were enduring a great deal of pain that season. 74 points to 19, that match finished 6 years ago. I would say that tally might be under threat here this afternoon.
Tackle!
Will Montgomery on for John Hardy.
Again, Newcastle's defence very narrow. Their widest man is inside the 15-metre channel. And that's why there's so much space on these edges for Exeter to just pick them off.
Great tackle from Hayden Wood. Hogg, though, wants this. And he's putting a whole heap of pressure on his fellow Scotsman, Gary Graham. Tampin.
Dave Ewers with the turnover. Ooh.
Get him out first.
Let's have another look at that one. Felt like a sympathy penalty, that one, to me. They do happen. You're only human, referees.
It's okay, we'll let him have that one.
3 points to target. Let's go. Yes, please.
Very tough afternoon for the Falcons. They would have known
Stay there, Chiefs.
exactly what's coming their way. They've had all of that and more. Madison right to the tail, effectively worked, and Schröder bringing in Lucock. Salmon just getting no change out of the possession that they do have, really. Tom Marshall lays this one out. Hodgson, wide they go for Graham, and he's so excited about getting the ball into the outside channel that he's lost it. Chiefs ball.
Definitely went backwards.
Yeah, lovely, thanks, Seth. Good catch.
Well, there's a little snippet of the game in its entirety, really. They did very, very well to get the ball at that back of that line-out. It was a good drill under serious pressure from Johnny Hill, but again, go back to the collisions, the gain line there, where both sides of the ball, the Chiefs are just dominating. And it's obviously what's so impressive when you play a young side, and we've all been in this position which is much less experienced than you are. There's often an opportunity to take liberties with the game plan and maybe become a bit loose and unstructured, but the Chiefs have really been very disciplined with the way they've played.
They have, and it's almost panicking under that pressure as well, because they're not putting any pressure on Chiefs' defence. They're set, they're able to come off the line, and when you're not that experienced, you think you have to try and force something, make something happen, because you haven't had the ball.
Here goes O'Flaherty, putting the hammer down. Hogg grabs it.
Check on the ground and get
Stuart Hogg with their 10th of the day, believe it or not. Lightning pace from O'Flaherty, but this had its genesis in a lovely touch from Henry Slade, Topsy.
Oh, it was brilliant, and it almost makes my point. What it looks like going the other way, when you're going forward, when the options are good, you're able to really manipulate the defence and put them under so much pressure. Lovely from Slade on that outside arc. Brilliant from Hogg as well. I'm pretty sure he's got that down. I'm sure they'll check it just to make sure, but he looks certain it's down. There it is. Yes. Brilliant try, brilliant finish, and shows the golf in class that we do have today, but the difference in terms of execution, pace, just being ultra clinical as well.